Hey guys, welcome back. This is Storm and welcome to episode 156 of our single player Tiveden world. So we have our regular skin back for the start of this episode, which is fantastic. It's always good to start off the episode on a good note. And speaking of a good note, we had also repaired our broken house here in between episodes. So I showed you guys a bit of creeper damage that happened right around here at the end of the last episode. You can see it's all been repaired. Went for a pretty simple interior, but I did want to have the owner of this house to be a little bit bolder. They've survived a creeper blast, so why not have a second enchantment room? So that's what we've got upstairs here. Also got some storage hidden into the sides here. This is a nice spot where, because we've got stairs above for the roof, we can hide away some extra chests, so that's pretty cool. And this house has got an upgraded balcony as well, so that's pretty cool. You can come out and explore the world, make sure everything's all safe before you jump down, so that's a nice little addition. And I've also put in a couple of these lanterns on around the corners of the house, and I think that's a nice little touch. I still want to make sure that I don't overuse the lanterns. I'm just trying to very slowly introduce them into my world here. I think that's a better way to do it than just go crazy replacing all your torches, which so many people are doing. So make sure you use it in moderation, I think. Anyway, so we are starting off the episode here around this section. We've got the I guess this is an oriental building. We've got our bamboo farm hidden behind this tree. And I was thinking as I walk down here, let's make sure we get... Uh-oh. Okay, it's going to be storming. Change in plans. Alright, we need to get out of here. Because a lot of my builds around here are made out of wood. So this is a very dangerous place to be. So we have to vacate. Let's do that quickly. And I want to find myself an ender chest because... Whoa! You can see how dangerous it is. I want to find myself an ender chest because I don't have one on me right now. But I do have one over here. I don't mind if these trees burn down because this is just basically my tree farm set up over here. Oh, really? I could have sworn I had an ender chest here. Well, that's disappointing. Okay, so we'll have to go find another one. We'll have one out in there, but I don't really want to be cruising around the jungle because that will burn down. So let's try our luck out this way. Don't think anything got zapped out there, so that's alright. Got some extra rockets. Let's come on into this building. Whoops. Okay, we didn't quite make that, but that's alright. And we do have an ender chest in here, I believe. You might be wondering, why am I quickly trying to find an ender chest? It's because of this. This is why I'm trying to find an ender chest. So let's go for a bit of a fly back into this direction. I'm going to skirt around the jungle here, make sure we don't run into anything. And I'm hopefully going to have enough time here because every time I seem to have lightning now, it doesn't last very long in my world. I have to be pretty quick here. So what I'm going to try and do is get myself one of these brown mooshrooms. So we do have one over here. Let's see if I can get this to work. Uh-oh. Don't know why I'm attacking the creeper, but I am. And that's going to make a charge creeper. Wish I could do something with him. I'll have to come back and think about that. But just stay charged for the time being, but don't hit me. I think I have to directly hit this guy, don't I? Oh, well, that didn't work. So that is one cow down. Okay, let's go over in this direction. I believe I do have... Oh, there's another cow directly below me. That's fantastic. Missed him. Damn it. As well watch me fail here. Is that the cow? That is not the cow. There is the cow. He's trying to get... Whoa, that was a terrible shot. Totally overshot that one. Alright, let's see if we can hit him from here. Don't die on me, buddy. Did he die? He totally died. So this is not going to be as easy as I had thought. Well, I'm trying to get one of these brown mushrooms. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to fly over my main world here. I do have a cow farm right in here. And I totally didn't hit a cow just then. Okay, we got some of the brown mushrooms. Fantastic. Time to vacate. And make sure... Whoop, there's a creeper blast down there. Not sure how that happened. While we still have a bit of storm action going on, why don't we try and get ourselves a couple of heads? We haven't really got any heads in our world. So for that you do need a charge creeper. And we do have a couple around here, so it's going to do a bit of damage to my world, but that's okay, I don't mind that. What do we have over there? Let's go over this direction for the time being. Do have a lot of sand around, so I can always repair things. And I need a decent mob though nearby. Should have eaten something before I came down here, I think. Uh-oh. See, that's why I don't want to play with fire. Because you can see we actually have a bit of damage going on out there. Need to try and save my forest now. Why can't I fly? Yeah, there we go. So this tree is going to be cactus, it looks like. How can I save this thing? I think the only way I'm going to be able to save this is to chop it off halfway, I think. Hopefully the vines don't connect to too many crazy things around here. Alright, that's going to have to do us. Hopefully this is going to be enough. In fact, the fire might have even been put out, which is interesting. Because it's usually my luck where fire does not get put out. But let's go around. It is still dark, so we should be able to see if there's any other fires going on. Where was that strike? I'm definitely paranoid of setting my whole world here on fire. Alright. Let's try this again. Any charge creepers around here? I would have had those others despawn probably. Oops. Don't want to get near this guy. Okay, let's try and get ourselves something. What are we going to get? Maybe we can get a skeleton head? Is that what we want? Why not? Let's see if we can get one of these. Well, okay. Note to self, the creeper blast is pretty deadly. So I managed to get all my gear back, and we do have a bit of a hole to repair. Look at that for one creeper blast. It was a charge creeper, so I guess that blast radius is to be expected, but geez, I forgot how dangerous they are, so I have a bit of repair work to do there, but it wasn't all for nothing. We do have a skeleton head, so it's my very first mob head in my survival world here, so that's pretty cool. I think we'll have to get some decent armor though if we're going to try this again. Certainly not having the elytra equipped is probably a good idea. Having a decent chest piece will certainly increase the chances of surviving something like that. I'm just going to go over here and see, do we still have a charged creeper or two still lurking around? I'm going to guess they've all despawned, and I don't see anything, so yeah, that probably has despawned. Let's also come over here and check up, where was that tree that was burning? I think it's, yeah, this one over here. Yeah, I mean, that's not too bad. In terms of damage for my world, that is nothing. I've had to deal with a lot worse. So I'll just chop this tree down and then just plant another one right in its place, and we should be all good. I am just going to do a quick fly over here to make sure nothing else is standing out as being strange. That thing on fire down there is to be expected. Our battle arena is still okay. We've got a creeper ready to go in there, so I'll leave him in peace. And I think all else is well. So after all that, we managed to get a couple of brown mooshrooms, which is pretty cool. And I've already done one quick breeding session. I want to make sure we'll get a few extra in here, just in case we lose the main parents we have. We don't have many. There's only 2 or 3 around here, so we need to keep breeding them. And it looks like when I used the trident to create that lightning strike, it converted a number of the regular cows into the red mooshrooms as well. That's why we've got a few more in here than normal, I think. So that's pretty cool. And something else that I wanted to try is just get another of these suspicious stews, because this is something that is unique to the brown mushroom, if you didn't know. And I believe when you use a poppy and then you milk it with, well, not milk it, but create a bowl of a stew out of that. I'm pretty sure this one is speed, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, that is speed, so that's pretty cool. Doesn't last very long. These effects are a little bit gimmicky in a way that they, don't really last, but that's alright. And if you use the Oxyeyed Daisy, that gives you regeneration for a few seconds, and I'm not sure how much hearts that will actually regenerate. But it's a nice little addition. I think that's a nice touch to the game. So I will need to breed up a few of these as well around here. So that's pretty cool. And we did, after all that, manage to get ourselves a skeleton skull. I'm sure there was many of you thinking, well, why on earth didn't you go for a creeper skull? Let's face it, that was the first time I've tried getting a skull at all in my game, so I'll take any skull at the moment. But when it storms again, we'll no doubt try that a little bit differently, be a little bit smarter about it. I know when I was trying to convert these red mooshrooms with a lightning strike, I was winding up for a full extent of the throw of the trident, and that's just causing too much damage, and that's why I was just killing them basically when I was using it. So one way I guess I could have done that differently is try and shoot at a mob that's near it. So with the splash damage, that should have set the lightning strike to convert the animal anyway. So that's something I should try, not only with converting red mushrooms in the future, but also to try and get some creepers, charge creepers, so we can get some extra skulls. So a few more things I can do about that in the future. So coming back full circle, this is an area that I wanted to talk about at the start of this episode, and that was in relation to this tree. So there were some great suggestions from you guys about how I could improve this tree. If you don't remember, we've planted a couple of the sweet berry bushes amongst the leaves in this tree. I was trying to make this look like an apple tree. Doesn't look too bad depending on the angle that you're standing at, and there were some good suggestions on how I can improve this tree. And one thing I wanted to try first though was just change the line of sight, because I think that's a nice tree, but maybe part of the problem is you're not having enough time to look at it when you're walking along this part here, because by the time you get down here it's pretty hard to see the bits of red in the tree. So one way I can do that is to bring down this tree. Maybe we don't need this one. So part of this game I think is not only just building good things, but also getting the line of sight working for you as well. So I'm going to remove this tree and just see what does this do for this one here. I'm not going to change anything on this tree at this stage. All I'm going to do is remove this one, and I think that's all the wood, isn't it? I'm not even sure if this was a custom tree here that I'm tearing down. It might have just had a bit of decoration done to it. So I'm going to remove this, let those leaves despawn, and then we'll just see what does this area look like with that now removed. I think that is lifetimes better. Don't you think that's a nicer line of sight to that tree? And I really like this scaffolding that I've left behind. I'm not sure why exactly. I think to me, it's kind of representing some kind of rickety old wooden ladder leading up to the top of this tree. Maybe that's how you get up to pick all the fruit. So this is what the area looks like at night time. I think it's nicely lit up. I do have a sea lantern block buried right in the middle of this tree, so that's why it's lit up a little bit. And you can see I've added in a second ladder here, so that's pretty awesome. And I've also got one of these red coral blocks, so the fire coral, and I'm going to create myself a makeshift kind of barrel here. Be pretty cool to have this sitting in a barrel, maybe even just here. Let's try it out. Let's go for, whoops, I need this one back. Let's see if we can get this without us dying or breaking something. Now we're going to need some water. Then I should better just place that right there. So that should be nice and lit up. Now you do have to come up close to see it, but that's okay, I don't mind that. Let's just make sure it doesn't look out of place. Nope, happy with that. So little details like that I think will go a little way to make this look a little bit better. There were some good suggestions also to maybe change this tree out for some kind of cherry blossom tree. I might still do that, but not replace this tree, but maybe grow one of those or create a custom cherry blossom tree somewhere else around this area, because I'm not quite done yet. I still want to create myself another oriental building, maybe down the back here a little bit behind this building, maybe another one over here, and then maybe somewhere between these two buildings we could have ourselves a custom cherry blossom tree. So that could be something we could do as a future project. So I've been working around on our main island here for a little while between episodes, and as we've been building out the episodes here. And because of that, we've been collecting a lot of this cactus, and all these chests are now full. So this is where we've got our sneaky little storage system for all these cactuses, and let's face it, this is more than anyone will ever need, most likely. So what I thought we can do is convert at least some of these chests into a bone meal conversion chest, because if you didn't know, cactus can break down now in a composter. So this is something that I was just experimenting with, where you can just put in some items into a chest, let it funnel through a hopper, that will fill up this composter, and then when you have enough, this will convert into bone meal, goes through another hopper, and then into a chest, and that's where we've got this extra bone meal. Now, bone meal can be used for a number of things. I like to use it for blocks. I don't have a lot of it around for building materials, but we have all of this, and this is on 24/7. There's no way to turn off this cactus farm. So I feel like it's a bit of a waste, because when this cactus comes through here and all these chests are full, the cactus will just come down and then get destroyed down the end here. So we can probably put that to good use. Might as well make this convert into bone meal, and we'll probably switch out a couple of these chests to make room for that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I have now my ender chest on me, so we can grab our redstone box, and then I'm just going to convert this area to make sure we get some bone meal on the go as well. So our composter contraption is now installed. We've got a hopper to move cactuses into the composter. You can see it's filling up. And then when this converts into bone meal, we've got a hopper underneath, which is going to pull that out. And that pushes the bone meal into a dropper, and there's another dropper on top. Then that moves the items into this top chest, just through this simple clock setup here. So it's pretty simple, nice and quiet, and this is eventually going to fill up with bone meal. Now I do have a crafting table back here. In fact, that wasn't it, but this is it. So it is a little sneaky. It's a little spot right there where you can click, and then you can do your crafting, and then I can convert those into blocks. So this is kind of like my mass storage underneath here, and then the bone meal will eventually fill up this chest. So that's going to work for us quite well. I am going to install an overflow chest here, or not chest, but a cactus, just in case. It's very unlikely this thing will ever overflow, but if I have a piece of cactus here, if this hopper is full, then the cactus should move into this cactus and then get destroyed. So a little ironic, a cactus getting destroyed by a cactus, but I think that's going to work okay for us here. So let's close this up, and then this should be all well and done. I think, what do I need to... Yeah, let's just put down the wood here. And just like that, it's nicely concealed. You can hardly even tell there's anything that's different, but over time this chest will fill up with bone meal, and that's pretty cool. So I've just come over to our guardian farm here, and how you going, Mr. Horse? Hope you're going well. It's been a while since I've been over here. In fact, I'm not even sure if I have been over here since upgrading to the Village and Pillage update, so you can see it's been a little while. And what I thought we could do in this episode is try and do a very quick and a little bit nasty conversion on this farm to get XP out of it. You can see the spawn rates here is pretty good, even though we are in the newer version of the game here, and things won't be as efficient. There's probably a few design changes I'll have to make to this thing to get the spawn rates really nice and high. But as it is, I think we could probably do a relatively simple conversion on this thing to also get XP. You might see that the durability on my tools is getting a little bit lower, and it's starting to make me feel a little bit nervous, so I do need to get a reliable way of getting XP. And I've been mainly using villager trading to do that for a while now, but with the changes to how village trading now works, I haven't really set myself up to be able to reliably use villagers in that way at the moment. So I do need to make some changes, but for now I think this might be a good compromise to try and get some XP out of this farm. So if you don't remember how this works, let's just go down the bottom here. There is a midway section, so this is where we have our guardians that pull through some open fence gates. They funnel down into a single chamber here, and then they fall through. So this is where I have the option of sending guardians into the nether. We used to do that to kill these guys in bulk using potions. Haven't really used that for a while. So we have this set up, and then the guardians can fall through. At the moment they're also falling through some lava. That's going to help kill them. And then we have all the drops being collected into some chests here. It's a very simple setup. It's something that I created. I mean, clearing out the ocean monument is always the longest part, but doing something like this is relatively simple. But I think what we could do is, if I were to make this go down a little bit further, let's check out our heights though. So we're at level 20, so I might have to go down pretty close to bedrock here to see if I can get these guardians to fall down and get them pretty low on their health, so I can hit them with the sword, hopefully make them a one-hit kill. At least with the sword, it won't be with the fist. And then maybe we can get some XP out of this. So it's not going to be pretty. I'm not going to spend a lot of time making this nice and efficient in this episode. I just want to get some XP, do want to repair my tools, and I also want to do a little bit of charting as well towards the end of the episode here. So let's do a very quick conversion on this. I'm going to dig down, and then let's see if I can get these guardians to fall far enough so we can kill them with one hit. So the ghetto farm here is now up and running. You can see we're getting XP out of this, and we're only killing one guardian at a time pretty much here, because we don't have sweeping edge on this sword, and that is a problem. For a farm like this, you pretty much need a sweeping edge. So I'm doing a few little enchants here, just trying to get a few books. Maybe we can get lucky and get a sweeping edge enchantment on a book, and then put that on a sword. Aqua Affinity is not going to cut it though, so I'm going to go through this. I think I do have a sweeping edge book in the nether, so we could always go back and get that as well. But you can see this farm is working. We have to be a little careful of the thorns damage that the guardians do, but we do have our armor on at the moment, so things are all okay. I could just repair my tools just by doing this and then killing them one by one. It's going to be a little bit slower, but you can see we are getting XP and it is going to repair the tools. But getting a sweeping edge is going to make this whole process a lot easier, so that's what I'm currently striving for, getting some sweeping edge. If I can't get it on a book here, well, I'll just go back into the nether and I'll pick one up from there. So our ghetto XP farm here is working well enough to give us enough XP to repair our tools, so that's pretty cool. And we're also getting enough to do some additional enchants. And I've noticed as I've been doing some enchantments that each book that we've been using, we've only ever got one enchantment on it. So is that something that's changed in the game? Maybe I missed that patch note. It's a bit of a shame if that is the case, but oh well, I guess we can combine the books to work around that. But you can see we're getting to level 30 pretty easily. It's certainly not the most efficient farm, but it's doing the job, and we can repair all our tools and our armor in the process. And I'm just going to enchant up some books here. I've also got a grindstone here, so when I come across an enchantment that I don't like, I can just throw it into here and I can get my XP back. So if I don't want feather falling, for example, there we go, I get my book back and a few XP points to go with it, so that's okay. Now, I do know there's a way to get some pretty high-powered enchantments in the game at the moment. And those are about to be removed in the next major version of the game, or the next minor version, basically the next version. the next one that's about to be released. And you know what? Maybe we should just enchant up some of these, what people are calling god armor in the game at the moment. It's not something that you can always, I guess, take advantage of. Sometimes you know when a feature is being removed. Sometimes it's good to stock up on it. So maybe that's what we'll do. We'll create some very high enchanted armor here. And I'll show you guys the end result. I'm not going to show you the process. It's a little bit tedious to basically put multiple enchantments on books and then combine them, put them onto tools or onto armor. Then you can get a lot of combinations which you wouldn't normally get in the game. But it is using a feature that was introduced with the Village and Pillage update. So I thought it was originally a feature, but now it's being removed, so who knows if it was a bug or a feature. Anyway, I'm going to show you how you can get some pretty high enchants on your tools or your armor here. So I'm going to do it on some armor. There is a great video by Nembom who explains this process very well. So I'll link that in the video description if you want to know how to do what we're about to do here. But I'm going to do some enchantments now, combine some books, throw them onto a chest place here as an example, and I'll show you guys the end result for the enchants that we can get on this one chest piece. So a few enchantments later, we now have what we are calling Cheetah Armor. Some people are calling it God Armor. But look at all those different enchant combinations there. Usually you can't get those different combinations to work together. For example, protection, projectile protection, blast protection. Look at all that. Normally, yeah, you wouldn't be able to get all of that on the same piece of armor. But for some reason in this version of the game you can. It's about to be removed, presumably forever. So if you do want this kind of armor, make sure you get busy and start crafting these things or enchanting these things now. But there we go. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I might create myself some other equipment here. So I think this is mainly for armor pieces though, rather than it being tools. So you can't really combine, for example, Silk Touch and looting. That wouldn't really make sense. But you can do the different combinations at the moment with things like protection and projectile protection. So a little strange, but you never know when it might come in handy. Anyway, I'm going to leave the episode here. Thanks for watching. Stay awesome. I'll see you guys again very soon in the next one. Cheers.